All right. LDBC. This is your boy the coach. You're live on the Coach's Show, the Coach's Show Live. So I'm gonna give y'all my afterthoughts on Bud Crawford versus David Avanesyan. Um, this is the tale of two stories or two what ifs. The first what if is what if Bud Crawford lost a step? What if he lost a step? What if? Did Bud Crawford really look like Bud Crawford? And that's the question we got to ask right now, guys. That's the question that we need to ask right now. Did Terence Bud Crawford look like Terence Bud Crawford? I'd have to say no. But here's my next what if. What if Bud Crawford carried David Avanesyan for 6 rounds? What if he carried him? Because in points of the fight where I thought Bud could have pulled the trigger and got him out of there, I saw Bud Crawford doing pity pat punches. What if? What if Bud Crawford carried this man for 6 rounds? To make it look competitive. To make it look competitive to maybe entice Errol Spence to want to fight him. What if? What if Bud pulled his punches early in the fight? Because you got people saying that Bud really didn't look like Bud. Has Bud Crawford lost a step? Has Father Time finally, I don't know, is Father Time slowly running beside Bud Crawford? Well, is he? I think that's a question only Bud Crawford could answer. In parts of this fight, it looked like Bud was pulling his punches. In parts of the fight. It looked like Bud was just, it almost looked like a glorified sparring session. And at points of the fight, David Avanesyan landed a couple of shots. And Bud kind of grinned. You know, it was almost like, okay, good. Now let's make this a fight because we want to give the fans what they paid for. Guys, I felt like Bud Crawford. I felt like he carried this guy. I thought Bud could have got this guy out of there in 1 round. Had Bud Crawford would have done that, all hell would have broke loose. Because already social media did not want this fight. I didn't want this damn fight for Bud Crawford. And the majority of people probably streamed this fight. I didn't want this fight. Many people did not want this fight. Here's the number one thing, okay? Does Bud Crawford beat Errol Spence Jr.? Because that's the question that we really want to answer right now. That's the question we want. That's the question that everybody wants. Does he beat Errol Spence Jr.? That's the question. And I got to tell y'all, after watching this fight and after watching this performance against David Avanesyan, folks, I don't think so. I don't think so. See, here's my what if theory. I think it's a combination of both. I think Bud Crawford has lost a slight step. I think Bud Crawford carried this guy. I think Bud Crawford legit carried this guy. Okay? Bud didn't even break a sweat. He didn't break a sweat. He was in the corner just chilling in between fights. Now, clearly you can see David Avanesyan under a lot of stress. He was, getting hit, getting punched in the body. He was just getting hit. And every time Bud would land, now Bud sometimes would land a clean, effective strike. He would do it to keep him honest. To say, hey, David, I'm Terence Bud Crawford. I'm right here in front of you. Okay, I am right here in front of you. I'm Terence Bud Crawford. Don't you forget it. That's the moral of this story, guys. I think Bud Crawford made a $10 million hustle. How many of us would take $10 million to do something, to do work that we really don't have to do? How many of us would take $10 million to do less work? Because all of y'all criticizing Bud Crawford, you know damn well that you, yourself, would take $10 million to do less work. You know you would. So why are we criticizing Bud? Oh, I know why. Because this isn't the fight that we wanted to see. You guys know the fight that we really, truly wanted to see. I think we all know what fight we really want to see. And that's the elephant in the room. Will Bud Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. fight in 2023? In my honest opinion, I think maybe by the summer. Maybe. Okay? If the fight hasn't been agreed upon by February, they're not going to fight in 2023. And it's sad because right before our eyes, we just saw Bud Crawford leave his prime. We saw Terence Bud Crawford leave his prime. Folks, the fight isn't going to be lucrative anymore if the fight doesn't happen in 2023. This is the fight that boxing should have had 3 years ago. And now we're going on 3 years later. The fight is still no closer. Whose fault is it? Is it Bud's fault? Is it Crawford's fault? Whose fight is it? Because now we got people online, and it's so many Bud detractors, so many Spence detractors. We got people, I don't know, losing their minds on social media. We got grown men at odds, don't like each other because of the fact of who they choose to like as a fighter. My closing thoughts are this. The coach's closing thoughts are this. Bud Crawford did lose a step. Bud Crawford did carry this man for 6 rounds. I don't know if Bud Crawford wants to fight Errol Spence.